إن الحمد لله تبارك وتعالى نحمده ونستعين به ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا وسيئات أعمالنا. من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له، وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له، وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله صلى الله عليه وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين. يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله حق تقاته ولا تموتن إلا وأنتم مسلمون. أما بعد، فإن أصدق الحديث كلام الله تعالى، وخير الهدي هدي محمد عليه الصلاة والسلام، وشر الأمور محدثاتها، وكل محدثة بدعة، وكل بدعة ضلالة، وكل ضلالة في النار. وما قل ودل خير مما كثر وألهى، وقليل يغنيك خير من كثير يطغيك، وإنما توعدون لآت وما أنتم بمعجزين. وبعد, dear respected brothers and sisters in Islam, today inshallah ta'ala it's our fifth halaqah on the explanation, the tafsir of Surah Al-Muzammil. First halaqah was an introduction to the surah, and the other three halaqat were brief tafsir or the ayat. And today inshallah we'll start from verse number 15, where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is addressing now the disbelievers from Ahl Makkah, from the people of Makkah. And he says, Inna arsalna ilaykum rasulan shahidan alaykum kama arsalna ila fir'auna rasula. Indeed, we have sent you a messenger, O people of Makkah. He is talking to the people of Makkah, and he is saying, we have sent you a messenger as a witness for you or against you. Inna arsalna ilaykum rasulan shahidan alaykum. Upon you, in this ayah it's upon you, it's going to be against you. Kama arsalna ila fir'auna rasula. Just as we sent to Pharaoh a messenger, and he's talking here about Prophet Moses alayhi wa ala nabiyyina as-salatu was-salam, Sayyidina Musa. So there is here an issue. The first thing is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَمَا كُنَّا مُعَذِّبِينَ حَتَّى نَبْعَثَ رَسُولًا. He says subhanahu wa ta'ala that out of His mercy, because He is just, He will not punish a nation, or He will not question a nation regarding their disbelief if He hasn't sent to them a messenger. It's out of His mercy, out of His justice subhanahu wa ta'ala. وَمَا كُنَّا مُعَذِّبِينَ حَتَّى نَبْعَثَ رَسُولًا. And the question arises here, do we have people like this in our time, in our era, nowadays? This question was asked to one of the Grand Muftis of Egypt one time, and it was like this: هل هناك أهل فترة في عصرنا? Do we have any أهل فترة? أهل فترة, the people of the periods. Periods means a period between two prophets or two messengers where they had no prophets. They don't know anything about the message of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. They haven't seen any prophet. They are called Ahlul Fatra. And Allah is saying about Ahlul Fatra that they are not punished. They will not be questioned. بِرَبِّ الْعَالَمِينَ وَمَا كُنَّا مُعَذِّبِينَ حَتَّى نَبْعَثَ رَسُولًا. So do we have any of them in our era nowadays? فَقَالَ, he said, in our aqidah, the principle of our aqidah says, لَا بُدَّ أَن تَصِلَ الدَّعْوَةِ أن تكون الدعوة تصل بصورة صحيحة. So the first condition for the da'wah, for some people to be questioned by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, a nation to be questioned by Allah, is for them to receive the message. That's number one, to receive the message of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. وَأَن تَكُونَ بِصُورَةٍ صَحِيحَةٍ. The second condition, it has to be a sound da'wah. It has to be clear, appropriate, that addresses the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the mercy of the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, and how Islam is moderate religion, moderate, and how it addresses people in all times, at all times, in all environments. Number three, لَافِتَةٌ لِلنَّظَرِ. It has to be something that grabs people's attention. Something when you see you will be attracted to. So everybody will see and will listen about the message of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It's not like just some random videos on YouTube and some people watch them, some others don't watch them. No. It has to be da'wah صحيحة لافتة للنظر وأن تكون لسليم الحواس. And the receiver should be somebody who is able to receive this da'wah. He's not deaf, he's not blind. He had the ability to understand, to listen, to see, and to understand. You tell me nowadays in the West, I'm not only talking about the country where we live, I'm talking about the West in general. Do you think if any of the non-Muslims would go now online and he doesn't know Arabic language to differentiate between the right and the wrong, and he has to go online to write down a question about jihad, for example, or about hudud in Sharia, penalties, do you think he will find the clear and the proper and the sound Islam that the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ came with? Definitely not. So those people who haven't received the clear, sound message of Islam are considered as people of al-fatra. They will not be questioned by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. As if we have a Muslim, for example, and that Muslim doesn't know that something is haram. He doesn't know it's haram. He thinks it's halal. And he's making this sin over and over again, but he doesn't know. And all of a sudden somebody saw him committing this sin and he said to him it's haram. So at that time, from that moment, he will be questioned by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But before that, because he doesn't know, we call this عذر بالجهل. It's an excuse for him. What's the excuse? Is ignorance, lack of knowledge. He doesn't know. This lack of knowledge grows and grows and grows and grows, and then it becomes ahlu fatra, the people of the period who don't know anything about this religion. So it's an excuse for them, and that's why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, وَمَا كُنَّا مُعَذِّبِينَ. We're not going to punish anybody حَتَّى نَبْعَثَ رَسُولًا, until we send a messenger. Right? So that's a very important issue that we needed to mention at the beginning, because we live in a Muslim country. When you deal with other people, you need to understand this. If you as a Muslim don't practice your own job, it's not my job. My job is in the masjid here. I do this sometimes outside. But for da'wah is the responsibility of every Muslim. Because the principle of the root of our relation with others is da'wah. So if you don't convey the message of Islam with your manners, with your etiquettes, with the way you look like, with the way we deal with people, with your honesty, with your modesty, if you don't address this, if you don't address them, if you don't convey the message of Allah to them according to the proper Islam, the sound Islam, they will not be questioned by Rabbil Alameen, and it's going to be your responsibility. You will have some share of this responsibility in your shoulder, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will ask you about it. It's not enough to go to work and to gain money and to provide for myself and my family and have a good lifestyle and then say the da'wah is only the responsibility of imams. No, that's wrong. Da'wah is the responsibility of everybody, every Muslim. Because those people, they really don't know anything about this religion. When we go sit down with them, they don't know anything. Their questions are, all of them are just misconceptions. They don't know anything. Even one time I went to give a halaqah, not a halaqah, like it was a sitting. We were sitting down together, a gathering, in a meeting. And then, at the end of the meeting, I was wearing my black hat. I have a black one, and this one is white, right? And at the end, one of the ladies said to me, when you came first, when you just entered from the door and came in and I saw you with this black turban or black hat or whatever you're wearing, I felt it's a barrier between me and you. Why? Why did you feel that? It's a barrier between me and you. Because they see ISIS online, they are wearing what? White thobes and black turbans, black hats. And you know what? كان أحب الثياب إلى رسول الله البيض من الثياب. The most beloved thawb to Rasulullah, the most beloved clothes to Rasulullah صلى الله عليه وسلم is the white thing. But the scholars say إذا أصبح هذا اللون علما على الفساق يبقى الحكم يتغير بقى. If this white color that the Nabi ﷺ used to love the most in all of his clothes, لو أصبح علما, if it became like that thought that the people who spread corruption wear most of the time, instead of being recommended to wear white, it will be disliked and sometimes haram to wear white, because you will put a barrier between you and others when you invite them to this religion. Do you understand what I'm saying? Am I clear? Am I clear or not? Not clear. This is white thawb. And the black hat, wearing black hat is not haram. And even wearing a hat is not one of the adab of the prayer. It's not one of the adab. There is no any hadith or ayah that says you should wear a hat. It doesn't matter if you wear it or not. If you look good without a hat, it's okay. If you don't look good except with a hat, it's better to wear it. Okay? But nowadays, Imam Al-Aslam used to love the white ones. Nowadays, the people who kill others, who spread the corrupted version of Islam, they wear white thawbs and black hats. The white is recommended. But nowadays, who wears this white is the people who spread the corrupted Islam. So if you wear white, it will be disliked for you. Because at that time, you're putting a barrier between you, and don't come to me and say, I'm just wearing the white that the Prophet ﷺ used to like. Same ruling, some scholars said, according to lihya, for example. According to beard, growing beard. The same, what I'm saying now, is the same thing that some scholars said regarding lihya, regarding short garments, short thawbs. If you don't have a long lihya, because you think, or you know for sure actually, that it's going to be a barrier between you and some other people to give da'wah to them, shorten it. And it's the opinion of some scholars, and they go make da'wah, you will be rewarded more than somebody who has a long beard and who can't make da'wah to others. You can convert people more than him. I hope you understand what I'm saying. All what I'm saying now is in fiqh. It has principles in fiqh. Right? So why I'm saying this now? Because we're discussing the issue of the people of al-Fatra. Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is talking to the people of Mecca and saying to them, we have sent a messenger to you, Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, as we have sent a messenger to Pharaoh. And there is a hadith, and Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam says, إِذَا فَتَحْتُمْ مِصْرَ فَاسْتَوْصُوا بِأَهْلِهَا خَيْرًا. When you conquer Egypt, when you conquer Egypt and spread Islam in Egypt, استوصوا بأهلها خيرًا. Deal nicely with its people. The Egyptians are, they're not, they want somebody to be nice to them. They are having a hard time. And I was saying this hadith. And then a brother came after the halaqah and said to me, okay, so didn't you have Pharaoh in your country? I said, yeah, we have Pharaoh. But at the same time, and Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, take care of the Egyptians when you conquer Egypt. It doesn't mean that all Egyptians are pharaohs. We had Pharaoh in Egypt, but Allah has sent him Musa alayhi salam. Right? So we still have pharaohs, and we are people to be taken care of because the Prophet said, فَإِنَّ لَهُمْ نَسَبًا وَصِهْرًا. I have some relatives among the Egyptians. Mary al-Qibtiyya, she married the Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. And that's why he has some nasab, some kinship, some ties of kinship with Egyptians. And he said, please be kind to them. So we have some ties of kinship with Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, and at the same time we have pharaohs. It's okay, you don't have to go after the halaqah and say, you're praising Egyptians. No, it's not that. I'm just mentioning what we have here. So this is the first ayah. إِنَّا أَرْسَلْنَا إِلَيْكُمْ رَسُولًا شَاهِدًا عَلَيْكُمْ كما أرسلنا إلى فرعون رسولا. Next ayah. فعصى فرعون الرسول فأخذناه أخذا مبينا. But Pharaoh actually disobeyed the messenger, so we seized him in a destructive, severe way. Okay, I don't want to reflect on this ayah much, but I will go to the next ayah. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala starts to talk about the day of resurrection. Briefly, inshallah. فَكَيْفَ تَتَّقُونَ إِن كَفَرْتُمْ يَوْمًا يَجْعَلُ الْوِلْدَانَ شِيبًا. If you remember last time, he described the last day, and he said, he said, يَوْمَ تَرْجُفُ الْأَرْضُ وَالْجِبَالِ. In the day of Qiyamah, the earth and the mountains will be shaking. وَكَانَتِ الْجِبَالُ كَثِيبًا مَهِيلًا. And the mountains, the strongest creations of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, will be كَثِيبًا مَهِيلًا, will be like heaps of sand, piles of sand. Mahila means when you shake something from the bottom and the top will be distracted, will be destroyed. It's called the mahila. That's what will happen to the mountains. It will be just sand and will be shaken and destroyed. Then he added some other description here. He said, يَوْمًا يَجْعَلُ الْوِلْدَانَ شِيبًا. This last day will make the children white-haired. Their hair will turn will turn white. It means what? It means what? What does it mean when I say to you, like my hair has turned gray? What does it mean? It means what? My day was hard or it was easy? It was hard day or easy day? It was very hard day. And it was long day or short day? It was very long day, right? One time I was in St. Catherine's with my in-laws and I went to visit one of the imams in Aurora. Aurora, without traffic, is 2 hours. And it was the rush hour. Not the rush hour, it was afternoon on Friday. It's very, very busy at that time to drive in Toronto area. So I was driving, it took us like 2.5 hours, I think, or more than this, to drive from Aurora back to St. Catherine's. And then my mother-in-law said to me, "Did your hair turn gray?" I said, "Why?" He said, "Because you're too much driving." So when you have a long day, hard day, your hair turns gray. Right? We just say this. Or if you have too much pressure at work and in your house with your family, some of your hair will start to be gray, to start to be white, right? And here Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying the day of Qiyamah, يَجْعَلُ الْوِلْدَانِ. Al-wildan, the children, the young kids, small kids, their hair will turn white. The whole thing will be white. It means so difficult day. Like, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make it easy for all of us. And then he said, السَّمَاءُ مُنْفَطِرٌ بِهِ كَانَ وَعْدُهُ مَفْعُولًا. The heavens will break apart. Will break apart in this day. كَانَ مَعْدُهُ مَفْعُولًا. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will definitely indeed fulfill his promise subhanahu wa ta'ala. Last ayah. إِنَّ هَذِهِ تَذْكِرَةٌ فَمَنْ شَاءَ اتَّخَذَ إِلَىٰ رَبِّهِ سَبِيلًا. Indeed, this is a reminder from Rabbil Alameen. So whoever wills may take to his Lord a way. So the last ayat of Surah Al-Muzammil is a reminder from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to us to remember the last day and to try to find our way to Him subhanahu wa ta'ala before the last day comes. جزاكم الله خيرا for your time. أقول قولي هذا وأستغفر الله العظيم لي ولكم. Inshallah we have our recitation part now. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.